Austin here, and this week on Chatterfox we're going to be continuing the, convention etiquette kind of thing. But today we're actually going to be talking about getting to and from the convention, and things you can do to pass the time so you don't get bored or too bored. Now if you're driving, biggest thing is going to be that you're going to actually have to pay attention to the road, because if you don't, you can get in a crash. And there've actually been a couple fuzzies that I know of who actually got into crashes on their way to conventions, and it wasn't fun. One of them wound up with a messed up back, and well, he couldn't exactly enjoy the convention. Anyways, so if you're not driving and you're a passenger like me, or you're taking a bus or riding a train or flying in a plane, you can always do what I do, and well, I have these. See, I has my DS, specifically a DSi. Everybody can tell it's mine because it's blue. Well, everybody in the house at least. And the stylus is coming. I kind of don't use the stylus more than often than not, but I also have my phone. And why I have these is because, well, my DS is kind of obvious. I like to play video games while I'm traveling, but my phone is for more than that, because I personally like reading more than I like gaming. However, I still have some interesting games on my phone too, so yeah. And speaking of interesting games on the phone, there are actually a couple that I want to talk about. Hold on just a second, I'm gonna put these down. Anyways, speaking of interesting games on my phone, well, first I've got the Kindle app, so I have lots of books on there, so I'm kind of never without a good book. But personally, I do like actual physical copies better. But when it comes to games on my phone, I've actually got a couple that I like a lot. One of them is Mission of Crisis. It's a cute little fuzzy tactical shooter game that has a top-down view, and it's got a lot of interesting characters and a weird little dogs versus cats story. And there's a fox engineer, specifically a fennec engineer. So yay! The other series that I like is actually called B2B, or Bad to Bad. And that one's actually got three games. One of them is more a mini game though. The series actually starts with I think it's Bad to Bad Delta, and then continues with a game called Bad to Bad Extinction, which is kind of a slightly different type of game. Bad to Bad Delta is sort of a side-scrolling shooter, but you you control one character, and you kind of have a small army, like in other games like things called Cat Wars. I think that's what it's called. But in Extinction, you can actually control up to an entire squad, and it's more of a top-down, free-roam tactical shooter. And that one actually consists more of zombie sort of things, which is kind of weird. Anyways. Another thing when you're in transit, if you're flying, make sure that you have absolutely everything you're going to need before you try to get on a plane. Because if you get to the airport, and I mean check and double check, because if you get to that airport and you don't have something like your ID or your wallet, you're going to want to kick yourself in the tail. Because that can actually really suck. I've actually heard a couple horror stories of people forgetting things like their wallet before going to the airport and actually missing the first day of the convention because of it. So that's the thing. Also, try not to freak out the TSA agents too much, because well, you don't want to know what they do in those small rooms. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Anyways, I guess that's it for now. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, everybody. Also, by the way, gotta point out, not sponsored by any of the companies that we mentioned for any of the games that we mentioned, and definitely not sponsored by Nintendo. Because, well, we're tiny and I don't think they even know we exist. Anyways, bye!
Oh yeah, I want to show our patrons some love too because they're awesome. Their contributions help us to afford all the neat stuff we use to record. So thank you. And if you want to become a patron too, you can click the link down in the description. You'd really be helping the channel out, and you'd get a couple nifty goodies too. Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, then yay, you're amazing. By the way, subscribe. Please don't make a foxy bag.